Hi, this is what's happening and this is what I'm gonna tackle in this video. It's a mess, it's chaos, I'm sweaty. I hope I can make it happen. I'm trying to keep the stack there. Hopefully it doesn't fall because it fell before and I did make a mess. Okay, so I am sweating. I wasn't sure if I was even gonna record this video. I am recording small videos, short videos for social media because I realized that maybe I should also try that out and see how I feel about it. And that is because editing these videos has been taking me a little too long and I find myself spending 1 or 2 days out of a week editing, and that's not necessarily how I want to spend my time at the moment because I feel like I want to learn so much more about sewing. I started a class to learn how to make patterns. The class is called Confident Pattern Making. Confident Pattern Making and Grading. I think that is the official name. And I just find myself without time and I don't have a job right now. And this is how I can spend all my time. And I still find myself not having enough time to sew, which is kind of weird. It's weird, but at the same time, I've gone through this a lot in the past 2 or 3 years that I haven't had something consistent. When you have so much time, sometimes your attention can go to so many different places that at the end of the day, you did a lot, but it doesn't feel like you did anything at the same time. So long story short, this pile of fabric, it's fabric that I've had either leftover from projects that I've done before. I have thrifted them, or I think a couple things my mother-in-law gave me, and they're basically like thrifted items because they were either bed sheets or duvets or whatnot. So because I really want to try new things and just basically get sewing, that's really what I want. And summer is already here in Florida. It's getting so hot. I am sweating as I am recording this. I really want to make this happen, and I want to make shorts and sets that are heat friendly, Florida friendly. And I found myself saving hundreds and hundreds of inspiration pictures on Pinterest, on my phone, from YouTube videos, from everywhere I have been looking for, yet I was not actually hands-on. I was not making this happen. And so I got tired last week and I was like, I need to make a plan. So I created a Canva and I took pictures of all the fabrics that I have except one because I got it yesterday and it's actually a dress. It's not fabric, but it's a dress that I think I have enough fabric I can use for shorts, but I'll get to it in a little bit. So on my Canva, I dragged all the pictures that I saved from the fabrics that I have. And that way I could visually see what are the colors, what are the textures, what are, like the type of fabrics that I'm working with. And I don't know if this is the way that everyone does this, but at least I've been doing this. I've been feeling like creatively with fabric, I want to know what fabric I have, what color, the flow, the drape of the fabric and whatnot. And then that directs me or gives me ideas of the type of garment or piece that I want to make, want to create, the type of shapes and whatnot. So once I had all of those pictures on my Canva, I started to look for the pieces that I thought could work with that fabric. And I bought all the patterns for all of these pieces that I want to make. In my head, I was also thinking like, this is way too many patterns. Like I don't spend so much money on this, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I spent something like $110, let's call it that, $110 for patterns. And I got like, I want to say like 12 or 13 patterns, meaning that is 13 possible garments that I can make. That is without counting the different views that a lot of these patterns come with. And also without counting that I can make each piece as many times as I want with as many fabrics that I want. I have spent probably less money on all of those patterns than one garment that I can buy new. So with that said, I also want to keep these videos very realistic for myself, because you have no idea how many videos and how many projects I've started recording, and then I stop recording altogether, and then I don't do anything with those videos. And that is, again, because I feel like editing and just creating a whole video long format is a lot. It's a big job. So I know that I'm not going to take videos of all of the pieces that I'm going to make, but I do want to share the plan for all the projects that I have in mind. I may share a couple projects here, the final result, and maybe in future videos I'll show you more of these pieces and the garments that I create. Okay, so I want to show you what I have to work with. So to start with, this is the dress that I got yesterday that I was telling you before. And it has this dainty black stripes. I really, really like this fabric. And my idea is to make this spaghetti Western sewing shorts. I believe is the Wheeler shorts. I'm also making those in this fabric. These were fitted bed sheets, and I think these are the first pair of shorts that I'm going to make. I had this already. I had planned to make those shorts in this fabric already, and then yesterday I went to Goodwill and I saw this fabric, and I really wanted something striped, because one of the pictures of spaghetti Western sewing, in the reference pictures, they have a striped fabric and it looks really cute. So I was hoping to get something like that. And I feel like these dainty lines are even more me than like thicker lines. So I was really happy to find this. Also, brown is a color that is going to be perfect in my closet because it goes with pretty much everything. I am a little bit concerned about this fabric because it looks a little bit dull. Like you can see that it has a lot of life to it. And so I don't think I'm gonna do anything before I make the shorts, but I may end up dyeing it later on or doing something so that the color gets a little bit brighter and brings more life to the fabric. If you have any ideas, please let me know. I'm also planning on making the Brooke baby doll top, and I'm reading the names because this is something that I cannot remember, by Planet Peach. Basically every single pattern I got from Etsy, and I think it's pretty easy to tell on Etsy when you're buying from an actual person versus AI. I think they're getting way more creative with the AI postings, but I think I did a good job finding all the patterns that a human made. There are 3 different views to that top, but I think I'm gonna go with the one that doesn't have any elastics. I just want something very loose. Again, it's getting so hot here that I think the less the fabric is touching me, the better. And the more flowy, the better. So I'm excited for this fabric because it is a color that I don't have in my closet right now. And with this, I was hoping to bring in more color to my pieces and my garments. However, this seems to be the only fabric that is actually colorful. I was hoping to find more things when I went to Goodwill the other day, but nothing was really calling me. And so we'll see. Maybe along the way, I find more things. All right, the next one is I have leftover fabric from the duster that I made for my mother-in-law. And so this is kind of like a muted green sage linen. And I'm planning to make the Yarrow pants. Please forgive my pronunciation, by Oh Me, Oh My Sewing on Etsy. Also, this is hanging here. I also made this blouse out of this fabric, and even though I really like it, I kind of want something to it. I don't know if maybe I'll end up changing the buttons just to give it a little more life, more personality. It feels a little bit too like a uniform to me for some reason. And so I want to add something more fun for this. Also, if you have ideas, please share them with me. Next one is this thrifted bed sheets. They have this kind of like, I think you can see there, this stripes. They have a nice drape and also like a nice thickness to them. I would say this is kind of like a light to medium. I don't even know what type of fabric this is. It is 100% cotton, but I wouldn't know how to tell you what type of fabric this is. This is something that I actually want to learn because I don't know much about fabrics. Like, I don't know what is a twill, what is gabardine, like, I don't know. Like, I think I know, but then I see someone calling a piece that in my mind was not that at all, and I get really confused. So I actually got this book this week, and it's really nice, and I love the way that they are explaining how every textile is made and the name and like the different applications for them. So I'm really excited to use this a lot more for future projects, especially because I think I haven't mentioned this. One of the reasons why I am using thrifted fabrics mainly for this project is, one, because I have been buying them, I had them. My room is small, our house is small. I really don't have a lot more space to keep more fabrics. So I knew I wanted to use what I have so far. But also another reason why I'm using this and not brand new fabric is because I have found that every time that I'm going to buy fabric, I am either in shock by the prices, and at the same time, I don't feel confident enough to buy them because I don't even know if I'm gonna like the type of fabric that it is. I don't know how it's going to feel in my body. I don't know how it looks. And so to me, paying like anywhere from $20 to $30 to $40 per yard for fabrics that I don't even know that I'm going to like seems a little wild. So that is actually one of the main reasons why I'm going with thrifted fabrics and what I have, because I can actually touch it and know whether I like it or not. So back to this, I am planning to make the Protea, I don't know how you say it, Protea. In Spanish, I would say Protea. The Protea Pants from Paradise Patterns. Gosh, yes, Paradise Patterns. I have loved pretty much every single picture that I've seen of people that have made this pants. I specifically saw a picture by what Abby wore. That may be the name of their Instagram. I'm gonna tag it here. And I think this has a similar drape to those pants, and I would love them if they look similar to those. So that's the plan. Also, because there's a lot to this fabric, it has a couple like ink stains somewhere, but it was a duvet. So basically I have 2 layers of this giant sheet. So to go with this, I am going to make the Poppy Top by Summer House, maybe the name. Again, everything is going to be linked in the description of the patterns. I think this would be a nice fabric for that. It seems like an easy construction, so it is also kind of like a test because it seems to be a really nice, simple pattern or garment to have in the closet. So if I like it, I may make it in many different colors because it seems just like one of those like basics, basically. Oh, I just realized one of my shirts or my husband's shirts wasn't here because I put it in the wash. Yep, my husband's. Okay. So this one is a challenge for me. When I saw this at the thrift store, I really liked it. I love the colors. I love the vibes. I just love it. However, it is so difficult for me to wear patterns. The few things that I do have though are florals, like the patterns that I have in my closet are florals. And so I got it and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make something. If I don't like it, it could just be a pajama. If I just feel like it's not me. But I do wanna challenge myself to make things that I'm kind of like on the fence, whether I like them or not. I feel like there's a part of me that likes them and another part of me that is shy about it for whatever reason. And so at least I wanna give myself the challenge or the opportunity to make it, have it. And if I just don't love it, if I don't feel like myself when I'm wearing it, then I can always just keep it as a pajama or maybe give it to someone. So it did take me a while to find a pattern that I thought would look good with it. In my head, I wanted something that was very romantic. I didn't want to make something like a basic, like the poppy shirt. I want something that adds even more to kind of like that romantic feeling that this pattern gives me. And so I was thinking of something like this. One of the reasons why I was thinking of something like this is because in my head, when you do a lot of shrinking or you have a lot of gathers in a fabric like this, you can see the colors, but not necessarily the pattern. And the colors is what I like the most about this fabric. So these were fitted bed sheets, and you can see what I am talking about here. I really love the way that this looks because I just love kind of like the abstraction of those colors and the florals. So hopefully I can recreate something like this. The pattern that I found for this is the Edie Camisole by the Maker House. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, next one is this comforter that my mother-in-law gave me. And it almost looks like denim, like a very, very light denim. And because I'm trying to use everything that I have, I was pushing myself to make it happen. I have to say, I was not as inspired with this one. I'm not sure exactly why, but I ended up saving 3 patterns to make with this duvet. So the first one is the Poolside Pants by Sew Manual Studio, again on Etsy. And I think I'm gonna make the view for this pants that has the little ties on the side of the pants. The other one that I'm gonna make with this fabric, and I actually found this pattern at the end of the organization and the planning of all of these fabrics, and I really like the construction of this blouse, is the Jean or Jen top. Is the Jean or Jen top by Ocean Designs on Etsy. And I absolutely love this blouse. I love the construction. I love how in the front it looks like one thing, and in the back it has like this opening in the back, and it's kind of like very unexpected. Those I think are the type of pieces that I really love, whether it's a color that is unexpected on a very simple piece or a detail like that. I actually really, really love this pattern. And if I like it, I would love to make it in other colors and other fabrics. The one thing that I'm concerned about is that I usually don't love blouses or tops that are quite high here. This one seems high, but it makes sense because in the back, the whole back is open. So we'll see. And the last thing that I want to make with this one is the Megan Cami top by Loveless Jamie. It's a very simple pattern, very basic, and it was the one piece that I could really see in this fabric. We'll see. Okay, this was longer than I thought. So I'm really excited for this one because these were my bathroom curtains at some point. They have this very dainty squares. Since I decided to change the curtains in my bathroom, I was really excited to upcycle this fabric because I've always really liked it. And in my head, I thought that pants would be really beautiful. I see them. However, it is just really hot. If I make pants right now, I'm not really going to wear pants. And especially because this is, I believe, 60% cotton, 40% polyester. I think it's the only thing here. Actually, no, there's 2 fabrics, including this one, that have polyester. I don't think I can handle polyester in the summer for pants that are kind of like wide-legged, because that is what I thought. So instead, I found these shorts that I think have kind of like a structure or the shape that would make them look kind of like elongated, which is how I thought in my head that this would look like. And so I'm making the high-waisted shorts. I think that's the name of this pattern, by Studio CS Patterns on Etsy. I think I'm gonna go with the flat waistband in the front. I think it still has an elastic band. However, the construction basically makes the front look flat, like not gathered, and that is actually happening in the back. I like, again, because of the way that I pictured this in my head for those pants, I think that view for those shorts is the one that kind of like resembles that vibe the most. Now for the top, I found exactly what I was envisioning in my head for this fabric. And I'm crossing my fingers that I have enough for both things. I think I do, but if not, I think I'm gonna go first with the top. I'm gonna start with the top, and if I have enough, I will make the shorts. The top is going to be the top piece of the Sable Set pattern by Rimford. I think the name is by Rimford, like one word. But this is originally a set that is the top and a skirt. I'm not a skirt person necessarily. However, I did buy, and I have for a future project, 3 skirts that I did like. I don't like the fabric, I don't like the patterns, but I like the shape of them, the structure. So I'm hoping that in the future I will be a skirt person. I actually don't mind the shape of the skirt for this set. However, I wanted the top because this was exactly what I was thinking. I wanted a strapless with an elastic back, and this is exactly that. So that is what I'm thinking for this fabric, and I'm excited about it. Next one, I think we have like 3 more. The next one is this fabric. Again, it's a bed sheet. I think it looks a little more muted in the camera than it is. It is kind of like a pink lilac situation. If I put it next to a pink color, like an actual like Barbie pink, it definitely looks more on the purple side. But if I put it next to purple, it looks pink. So it's definitely an in-between. I was picturing a set with long, loose pants, and it's too hot. And actually this sheet is not too big, so I don't think I would have enough for pants and tops. And I'm prioritizing tops that are really loose, shorts that are really loose, anything for this heat. So I decided to look for something that could accommodate that. And I found the Ellie top and shorts pattern. It's a set, so it already came with the shorts and the blouse. That is the plan for this one. This one, I'm actually quite excited about. I had seen this pattern before and I was like, ooh, I really like that. And last week I saw maybe 3 people on Instagram make it. And I was like, yeah, I really want to make that. However, I was like, I don't think I have any fabric for it. So I think I would have to buy fabric. But I just made curtains for my bathroom, the one that I used to have the blue square fabric, and I have leftover fabric, and I actually think that it would look quite nice. So this is a very flowy kind of fabric. It is off-white, and as you can see, it's almost like a gingham, but it's very, very delicate, very faint. I am a little concerned about working with it because making curtains was not easy. It is kind of like a very runny fabric. Oh, I'm so excited that I haven't even mentioned the pattern. So this is going to be for the pleat top. And it is a risk because I think most people that I've seen that have made this pattern or this top, they have used fabrics that have a little bit more hold to it and more structure. So with this, I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but I wanna risk it because I can see it and in my head, it looks good. I think I will size down for that pattern though. I've already gone through, measurements, and I have started printing some of these patterns. So I think that I'm going to size down, and I just need a lot of patience and luck in the process of making this. But I think if it works out, it's going to be a really good one. Oh yeah, and this is the other one that is actually polyester. Because I made curtains for my bathroom and I wanted them to go from ceiling to the ground, which was 8 feet, and it was quite wide. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna pay, $30 a yard for this. So I went with polyester. We made it to the end. These are the 2 fabrics that I have left, and these were actually fabrics that I bought. These are to make the Millie set by Ali Makes. And so this would be for the actual set, for the body for the main fabric, and this would be for the bias tape. I was really excited when I bought this fabric, and I really wanted to come home and make it, and I don't know what happened, but I didn't. And it's been maybe like 2 months since I bought this fabric. So now it is kind of like at the bottom of the list of excitement of the things that I'm going to make for this project, this big project, but I think it's gonna be a cute one. Okay, that is the rundown of all of the projects, pieces, fabrics that I have. And hopefully I can make it happen within a month. I don't know. Because I'm also taking the class. So it's not like I have all the hours of the day just for this, but I should get going.